Guys, it's a Monday morning. It's wet outside. It's gloomy. It's a lot of things. But one thing it's not. It's not a bad day. Hey, look, guys, I'm in a pretty good mood. It might not have looked it the other day, but I'm in a pretty good mood. I was tired. It's a lot. One, I don't get a lot of sleep to begin with, but it's 10, 12-hour days. Even when I get on off the water, even to make this YouTube stuff, I don't have one of those guys like Scott Martin. I'm picking on Scott, but I don't have a guy editing all my stuff. I don't have a guy filming all my stuff. I get on off the water and man, we cook, we do some things, and then I'm up late night, like getting footage done, doing things. I mean, I released some videos while I was at this tournament. So I was just tired. I usually even drive home. Like I drive home those nights, right? Or I get a long ways away. I got 6:30. 6:30 I made it. I drove an hour and a half, and that's as far as I made it. I was just beat down. And I got in, watched the Astros game, which they won, go Stros, and then just rest. I still didn't even, like everyone's going, oh, you went to bed early. No, I still went to bed at 11. And then the time change didn't help because I woke up at 3:41. I didn't realize it till later. No, I didn't get out of bed till like 5:30. I didn't realize I did gain an hour in there because I was like, why am I up at 3:41? Well, because I'd been waking up every morning around 4:45 to 5. It's just part of my routine. So I'm home. What do I want to talk about today? Here's the thing, because I said I was going to kind of like show everything, right? Everything in between, and after, and I didn't know I was going to do all this, but it's been pretty interesting. The comments, man, the comments were cool. There were two of them. There were two of them that were interesting. One guy was like, hey man, I saw you on the dock and you seemed all by yourself. Like you seemed, you know, I don't think he wanted to say lonely, but it was like, I was just there. And it was just there by myself. Man, my wife works, my kids had stuff, they had games and everything, and I didn't have anyone there. My wife's like, you don't want us there. I'm like, no. Like, one, I kind of, you know, I didn't worry about it. This is what I do for a living. But yeah, everyone else had people there, I think. And I didn't, and that's okay. Like, it's not a big, I do this all the time. It's not even a big deal. But yeah, I was there. I'm usually the last one to walk up to the tanks to weigh my fish in, because two, I was down there talking to some guys before all that. So I was down there, talking to, actually a young boy and his dad. They had come down there, so I spent some time with them. Anybody else that had come down there and talked, I just talked with them. It's better than just sitting up there in the weigh-in line, just twiddling your thumbs, waiting in line. Then I talked to some of the FLW, MLF crew, but they're the old FLW crew, the crew that I had grown accustomed with for the last 10 to 15 years. I was talking to some of them about all kinds of things because I've known those guys. I've known those guys for a long time. So, yeah, even they got a pretty cool picture of me and Mark McWaw walking down the dock. And it's just us two. I thought it was a pretty cool pic. It was one of the coolest pics I'd seen all weekend. So I had that happen. So yeah, man, I'm all right. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, here's the other deal. There was another comment. I didn't respond back to this comment, but the comment was, maybe he was joking, maybe he wasn't, but either way, it was, man, you only caught 2 fish the final day. Your knees must have been shaking. And I was like, no, it's here's the truth about all that stuff. You can take this for whatever y'all want to, but it is the truth. And I'll explain why. So I sometimes get in these tournaments, and even a buddy of mine, as we were driving up to Gunnersville, he's like, are you excited? I was like, no, not really. And he was like, what? I'm like, hey man, look, So I've been fishing like this I've been fishing tournaments since I was 15. There was a 10-year span in there where I fished more tournaments than anyone in the country, and it wasn't even close. I was fishing 45 to 48 tournaments a year. There's only 52 weeks in a year, right? I was doubling up sometimes on weekends, so Saturday, and then we drive to another lake on Sunday, things like that. Or I'd fish these Toyota series, and if I didn't make the cut, I'd drive all the way to another tournament and fish on Saturday. That's a lot of days of fishing. Then if you add in the multi-day events, right? That's even more. That's even more days on the water. Like, it's fishing. Like, it's more days on the water fishing. I've won some pretty big events. Day 2 is 10 times more stressful than day 3. I was trying to make the cut. Like that I can't fish day 3 without making day 2. That's where all the pressure was day 2. Day 3 was no pressure. There was none. I was just gonna go out there and fish. If it's your day, it's your day. I'm not gonna share too much of what went on day 3 because I'm gonna save that for the video. But there's a lot that went on with it. But I fished fine. Like, it was like, it's okay. I've had bad days on the water. When I say bad days, I can't make the fish bite. I actually took some gambles, took some risk, did some things. I wasn't gonna sit there and just catch some fish, catch a limit, walk up there with 11 pounds. For what? Not to win? No, that's not what I'm out there for. So I'm gonna go out there and I knew I had to take chances. I knew I had to take chances. Like I said, I don't want to share too much, but man, I knew what was gonna happen on day 3. I had anyone that has followed me knew that I knew what was going on. I knew when day 2 ended, what was going on and how it was going away and how some things were changing. Didn't mean I can adjust to the change. I tried to, but it didn't work out. So my point is no, I don't get excited most of the time, and I rarely get nervous. There's nothing to really be nervous about. It's crazy because there's no how do I explain this? There's not a lot of pressure in what I'm doing now. It's just another event. I've always told everyone, it's just another day on the water. What, am I going to fish better because it's the final day, or fish worse? No, I still make the same cast. I'm still going to make the same smart decisions I would do any other day, right? But this time I can go for the win. I could go try to catch another giant bag because I knew what I was doing was not going to catch a big enough bag to win. I knew it. I was right. I was dead right about that. So I don't apologize for that. But here's the other thing. Being nervous for an event, like stuff like this, not at all. Let me tell you, when I was younger and in college, and man, any of y'all that went to college or that time in your life when you're young, you live so day to day, right? You live day to day, maybe week to week, right? Because a lot of times you're looking ahead that week going, man, am I going to make rent? Am I going to make, I got so much stuff like between work, bills, school, and just life, right? I mean, you're just trying to make it half the time, or I was. And I would take rent money and go fish tournaments on rent money to win more money. Like I'm like, okay, rent's due next Monday, and that weekend I would take that money and go put it towards the tournament to go cash a check, a bigger check. I did that multiple times. I do not recommend it. You want to talk about that's what was nervous. That's where I was like nerves would kick in, and I would be like, oh my God, look, I didn't lose anything. I'm back here. Gonna go fish a tournament. I got a tournament this weekend. I gotta go back out there and start practicing Thursday. We're off limits. So no, it wasn't nerves. There was no nerves. And because the money and all that stuff, like I can only control what I do. Even my daughter goes, hey, do you go fish against those other guys out there? I'm like, no, let's go fish. I go fish against kind of, I wouldn't say myself, but I just try to do it as good as I possibly can. And I don't know what those guys are going to bring in, so I'm not really competing against them. But I do know that I have to do good in the tournament, right? And I know kind of what weight I need to bring in. And I knew I figured around 19 to 20 pounds. And I knew, and it didn't even matter because those fish, like I said, there were things that I could already see going down. Man, it was letting me know. And so I did some changes. But yeah, no, man, going and putting up your rent money and fishing back then, everyone would ask, like, well, so I still get it, like, so how do you do it, or what do you recommend? And I'm like, hey, look, man, if you want to get into fishing, I always told everyone, just go out there and do it, and in 6 months fishing will let you know whether or not this is your job or not. Because I was always 6 months away from never fishing again. Like, if I had a 6-month bad run or a 4-month bad run over a 10-year period, I wouldn't be fishing. I wouldn't have had the money to keep going. Not for me. There was no pressure. No, man, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Was I disappointed? Everyone could tell I was disappointed. 100% I was disappointed. It's different though. I was disappointed in a lot of different things. You only get so many chances, right, to be in contention for like that. I was blessed enough to make the championship last year. That was a big goal of mine. I was like, man, I want to make this championship again. Back-to-back years in the championship and in a Toyota championship. That's something to be said. Yeah, I don't know. That was a pretty cool thing. I got the highest finisher in my division. That was a pretty cool thing. Just leading after day one, catching the biggest bag of the entire event. Like, all those things were pretty cool things, right? You know, and then sometimes this happens. But yeah, I'm in a great mood. Even if it is raining and nasty and looks gloomy, the boat's a wreck. I didn't get in until late last night. Then I went with my family and my kids to the deer lease with all their family and just kind of hung out by the fire for a little bit, man. So it was nice, relaxing. I wish I could have gotten a little bit more rest. I think I fell asleep on the way home too. That's how tired I was. I let my wife drive. But yeah, man, I'm good. Now, I don't know. Tomorrow I might make a video. There's something else that happened in the tournament at the final day. There's so much that went on. There's so much that went on in this tournament, leading up to it, during it, a lot of different things. A lot of just things that I observed, right? I'm at this age now where I'm a guy who likes to observe things, and I see things. I find things interesting, and I did find something interesting on the final day, and I'll probably bring it up tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It was just about how the final day went on. It was a very, very interesting top 10. That's all I can say. It was a different one that I've been a part of, and I don't know, kind of share my thoughts on it. It's not negative, not positive, just interesting. Interesting, something that I observed. I'm wondering what's going to happen in the future. Is it going to be like this, or is this what's going on and I'm the odd man out, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the video now because I left all y'all hanging. I get it. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow. I'm gonna try to figure out how to explain it the right way so it doesn't come off kind of, I don't know, weird or interesting. It's just, like I said, I observed something and it was different. And I didn't notice it until I was driving home. Like, I was driving home and I was trying to put the pieces together. And I was talking to some people and I'm like, oh man, this is what went down. Anyways, it was just kind of interesting. And then I got a message from a guy last night that was in the top 10. And I appreciate his message. Like, it was awesome. Like, you know, and I was going, okay, like, see, I wasn't that far off. It was just interesting. I think there was a lot of stuff going on. I had to figure it all out, and I think I got it figured out. So yeah, I'm gonna do that video tomorrow. And then I probably won't be doing these everyday deals because I still got the deep blue I got to work on with the members only. I got to do some other videos to pass the time because I'm going to release this. I'm going to do this Gunnersville series. I already worked on the trailer and then we're going to, I don't know what it's going to be. You got to give me a little bit. Maybe, hopefully I can get it within a month started, because I want to get as many episodes done before I just release them. Because when I released the first ones, I was always under so much pressure to get like them done. I want to get like 4 or 5 done to where it gives me a little wiggle room just in case something happens, because I want to get them out on time for y'all. So, all right. But yeah, guys, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good week. I'm all right. Just tired. Or was tired. Now, it's time to get after the grind again. All right. See y'all.